those shoot-throughs. So first let's talk about the movement, and then we'll break it apart and try to think about the scaling. So let's do like we always do with any movement. Let's start with the positions and then the transfer between these positions. So the first position for this movement is going to be a plank position. Here, gymnastics plank. So I'm going to be protracted on my toes and leaning forward. And the second position is a reverse plank, right? So now here I'm not back, it's a full reverse plank, right? And so the shoot through is just the transfer between forward plank to a reverse plank. Simple. That is it. Now if you look at the movement, there are a few characteristics that I would like you to keep in mind that are very important. So the first thing that you'll notice there is that I'm keeping my arms straight, right? And I'm moving my body around the arms, you know, in this angle, right? So why is that important? So if you think for a second, usually what happens around the shoulder joint is that I'm moving my arm around it and my torso stays tight and stabilizes, right? So are the muscles of this side that are stabilizing and the muscles on this side are moving, right? Good. That is a simplification, but it works. In the shoot through, I am stabilizing with the shoulder and I'm moving the torso around. So I'm working, the function of the muscles is turned, right? They change, it's exchanged. So that is very useful because it's gonna work to your shoulder in a completely different way, which tells you that what's more important here is to try to keep that full swing, right? The range of motion. If I am like not giving myself the full range of motion, I'm kind of missing out on the exercise. That's the first thing. The second thing is the application of this. So if you think about this movement, not just for the obvious benefits of the health of this joint, but also it's gonna transfer to anything in which kind of the same thing is gonna happen. For example, muscle ups, right? In a muscle up, I am moving my whole torso around this joint. So if you get really good at this, anything that requires that your shoulder is stabilizing and your body moves around it is gonna get better. Keeping pull-ups, things like that, right? And so it's a very powerful movement in the sense that it's gonna have a lot of transfer, but it's very accessible and it's very easy to set up. So with that in mind, how do we scale it? So the easiest scale for this movement, this is a very simple movement to scale, is to go by height. So you'll see that some people will prefer, especially the athlete, maybe not so much the coaches, but some of your athletes prefer to keep the height low and kind of jump and then go here. But as we say, that is kind of missing the point because I'm not getting that nice swing, that range of motion, and it might force my athlete to have little control, more momentum. So I prefer, if you scale your athletes or yourself, by giving yourself height and control, right? So as you see here, I have height and control. I control the movement, right? And it gives me a full range of motion. I have height here, a box and a bench. It's uneven. I just did that on purpose to show you, like, you can play with that. I could stack a couple of plates. You can put more plates here, give yourself more height, and make sure that you have good starting position here, good finishing position here, and that you can control that full swing. Some athletes might require a lot of height. That's fine. That is totally fine. Some athletes will require less height. That's totally fine. What you want to make sure that is happening is that you have, you know, like a fluid movement there, and that you're achieving a reverse plank here and a forward plank over there. What's gonna happen is, as you get tired, as your athlete gets tired, and this is gonna happen pretty fast, they're gonna get sloppy in both positions, right? So when you're scaling your athlete, remember that on the height. So don't choose the minimal height you can, because that's gonna backfire really fast, especially if you have a workout in which there's a lot of reps. Choose a height that is very manageable, because with fatigue, it's gonna be very hard to control good form. Good. That is it. The last thing that I would say there is let your athletes dream big, and so show them how this movement can build upon different things, right? And so you can tell them like, hey, dude, from here, this is the starting from a V to a whole, you know, like anything of that, any skill that you can build there. Allow them to see how that is not, those are not separate skills. This is just a foundation of bigger skills. Explaining how this can work, how can it turn into a muscle up, right? And so that they understand that we just don't want them swinging around a box, and feeling inadequate while they're doing, but also that we're like working on foundational movement patterns that will transfer to like more sexy skills. That is it. As you can see, I don't have parallels. I mean, I used to have them, but I broke them. I have to buy a new set. I've been cheap. I'll buy them today. But you can use boxes, you can use plates, right? So if you get really good at this movement, you can go very low and use plates, right? That will work. You could adjust the dumbbells if you get really good, and so on. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes.